Good evening, crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. We are so happy that you are with us tonight. We have a terrific show planned. We're going to make 2 cards, and they're called Dutch door cards. I don't know if you've seen those or not, but it's really cute. We're also going to take 1 card and show you how to step it up. But before we get started, I want to remind you that Maudie, my sister, is over in the chat room, just waiting to answer any questions, just chat with you and have a good time. So make sure that you stop by and say hello to her. I want to remind you also that we have a very active Instagram account now. We had one of our wonderful crafting friends say, you really need an Instagram account too. So we've started an Instagram account. We're going to start posting our cards up and also our little shorts and different videos that we have. We just posted a sneak peek at our design studio. So Maudie's going to go ahead and put up the Instagram URL so that you'll know how to get there. It's super easy. It's like our Facebook, our Pinterest. It has the same address basically. And you can head over there and kind of get a sense of what our design studio looks like. Well, I'm going to take just a minute and say hey to a few people. We have Judy and Mary. Oh, welcome, ladies. We're so happy that you have joined us tonight. Now, let me show you this little Dutch door card. Look at this. See how half of it is cut off? Now, make sure you stay with this to the end because we have 3 other ones to show you and that should inspire you to make some of your own Dutch door cards. And please, when you make these cards, go ahead and post them over on Facebook. We would absolutely love to see your cards because we are inspired by them as well. And I was talking to Maudie, I said, Dutch door, and Maudie was explaining what a Dutch door, really was, what it looked like in a house. And I said, oh my gosh, that's just like Andy Griffith's show. That is like one of my favorite shows. I love that show. They have a Dutch door in their kitchen. So we have a Dutch door card, but now I know exactly what the Dutch door looks like. Hey, Hilda, so happy that you're with us. Carol, Linda, woohoo, and Pat. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us tonight. So let's go ahead and head down to the crafting table and get started. Now, I want to show you this card one more time. Look at this. That is so pretty. We love this big saying right here. And then we decorated this top part. Now, we put this through an embossing folder. So we really like that. That is one of the, it's kind of like a paint splotch. We absolutely love that. So our first card that we're going to make tonight is going to use I think that's Mango Melody. No, Melon Mambo. We're going to use this pink Melon Mambo card. And you just cut a normal size card, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and you score it at 4 1/4. But then you have to make a cut. So let's go ahead and bring in our trimmer, and we're simply going to turn it on the short side, and we are going to cut at 2 3/4. Now you're only going to cut up to this score line in the middle. You don't want to cut your card in half, right? So just go ahead and cut it right to the score line. Then we're simply going to turn it and line up that score line right in the canal of your trimmer. And then we're going to cut down to our cut line and just pull it out. Look how easy that is. Now, don't throw this away because you're going to use this one as well. We have no waste in this, right? So the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and just kind of look at this. We are going to have an inside card just like this for our sentiment, for your writing down at the bottom. But you need to go ahead and position it exactly where you want it because we're going to draw a line right there because on this one, we're going to stamp a little bit. And we want to make sure and not stamp in the wrong place because we still want room to write. So let's go ahead and bring in our stamps that we're going to use. Now we are using Melon Mambo and Garden Green to make this card. And let's go ahead and do our green first. Now, I will tell you that the front of the card looks like this, right? So on this right here, when you stamp, you need to make sure that you stamp some leaves up here so that you can see them. I'm just telling you that so you don't wonder, why is she stamping so far up? That's exactly why we're doing that. And we are going to stamp with the botanical layers. Oh, we fell in love with this the other day when we were using it to make a card. We didn't realize it was so pretty. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to bring in this really strange kind of leaf, and we're going to use Garden Green. Now, we need to put a Post-it note right here because we don't want to get it down here. So let's go ahead and just post it right there. Right there. Now, notice how I'm putting it just a little bit below the line. That's a good tip. If you put it right on the line, whatever you stamp is going to go right above the line. So make sure that you bring it down just a little bit, and let's go ahead and get that stamped. So like I told you, I want to go ahead and bring my leaves up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead, get that stamped. Oh, look at that. So pretty. And now I'm going to bring in that Melon Mambo with this beautiful leaf. Oh, I love this leaf. Now, we have created this card in a different color, and I think you're really going to like that color too. So let's go ahead. Tap, tap, tap. Remember, don't rock your stamp because you'll get a halo. You don't want that. We're going to go ahead and just stamp that. Look how pretty that is. Oh, loving it. Loving it. And there we go. Now, I can put a little bit of Melon Mambo down here, just a little bit, to get me some coverage, just so when they open it up, it looks real pretty. And now take it off. Look how pretty that is. Now, you want to make sure, and just bring in your pencil and just erase that line so that you don't see it. And you know, there's lots of erasers that work. I don't know if you're familiar with this mechanical pencil, but this is absolutely a fantastic eraser. It erases perfectly. So if you've never used this, you need to try to use this. It works great. Hey, Catherine and Anne. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. Okay, so now we have this part done. Now we're going to go ahead and just lay this down. We're going to adhere it with our glue. And then we're going to work on the front part of our card. So let's get that down. Now, how was everyone's July 4th? It's been a minute since we've seen each other. Did you have a wonderful 4th with friends and family? We hope you did. We hope you enjoyed it. We had some people that were shooting off fireworks into the night, kind of loud, but it was nice to see everything on TV. So we had a good time. Went over to our brothers in El Paso and had a little barbecue, and it was very nice. So look how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? But you know, it looks kind of flat, doesn't it? So we're going to beef this up just a little bit. And remember I told you, make sure you save that piece that you cut off. You want to take that piece and trim it down to 2.5 by 4. And once you do that, we're going to do a little monochromatic, and we're just going to put it on top. But first thing we're going to do is run it through our embossing, our boss, right, with the embossing folder. So let's go ahead and get that. And look at the embossing folder I've selected. Oh, I'm loving this one. This one's called Hive, and it is so pretty. So let's go ahead and get that in there. Let's see, it said the sandwich I needed was 1 and 4, and I believe that is right. So let's take this out and see how pretty it looks. Let's see. Look at this. Look at that. It almost kind of looks like another embossing folder we used to have, which was a metal I don't remember the name of it, but it, you know how you use a metal punch and you kind of hammer. Oh, hammered metal, I think is what it was called. Kind of looks like that. So we're going to go ahead and just lay that down right on top, and then we're going to move over to the front part of our card where we're going to put our sentiment. And I think putting the embossing folder on this front panel really just adds to the dimension. Look at that. Snake skin. Oh my goodness, you found a snake skin. Oh my, do you live out in the country, Mary? Was it a rattlesnake skin, or do you think it was some other kind? Let us know. Okay, so we have this, and now we're going to bring in our 2 pieces. Now, the first mat is 2.5 by 4, and let me see. No, that's not exactly right. Let's go ahead and measure this. This is 2 3/4 by 4. So that means this one is 3 3/4 by 2.5 because it fits right inside. So we're going to go ahead and stamp our message right up here. And I see that I do not have that out yet. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one. You mean the world to me. I like that. Going to get one of our acrylic blocks, add that right on there. Now, another tip, whenever you're adding your stamps and you can see it, go ahead and just lay it on your table and then pick it up, and that way you can get it straight, right? So let's go ahead and use our Memento and ink that up. And I'm going to try it. Since it's never been used, I'm going to try it right here first. Hold it for good contact. Yes, that's good. So we're going to tap, tap, tap. We're just going to put it right at the top and hold it for good contact. Okay. Oh, a country copperhead. Whoa. Boy, that'll get your attention. Okay. And so now we're going to put some of our beautiful leaves again. So let's go ahead and bring in our garden green and our melon mambo to just decorate that front. And I'm going to go ahead and just stamp a little bit more. And now we're going to bring in that melon mambo. I love this leaf. I think that is so incredibly pretty. Now, let's go ahead and stamp that. Okay. And let's just put it right in the middle and hold it for good contact. Okay. And there we have the front of our card. Now, something else you can do, a little tip with this, is that, you know, it kind of looks flat, doesn't it, when you don't put anything around the edges. Now, you can go ahead and bring in your dauber and you can go around the edges, or something else you can do. You can tap it in your stamp, in your ink pad, and then you can just kind of hold it. And then we have it just a little bit. I kind of like to do that when I'm too lazy to go get my daubers. I like to do that. Oops, got a little crazy on that one. Okay, and so we're going to close this. And we are going to set this up on dimensionals. So let's bring in our dimensionals and just get this set up. Let's see, Diamondback, yep. We do have Diamondback snakes here. Yes, we do. Oh, you have those too. Ah, yikes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take off the backing of the dimensionals and just lay this down. And now we're simply going to center this right on the front. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on dimensionals. Now, you only need it on the bottom part. So we need it about right there from here to here. So let's go ahead and get that. And I'm going to go ahead and put 5 because I want it to remain right where I want it when I send it through the mail, right? And you might be one of the lucky winners because remember, it is Surprise Patrol tonight, all of July, because we just appreciate everyone taking time to comment and chat with us and chat with Maudie. And so we are going to select someone to receive a gratitude gift. So let me go ahead and just get that lined up. Okay. And here is our first Dutch door. So what do you think? You have plenty of room to write your message. And there you go. You see why I said it was important to put some greenery up there, because you can see the greenery. So now one other thing that we think we might like to do is we're going to add some little bubbles just to give it a little bit more interest. So let's go ahead and do that. And we found this terrific stamp set. Oh, loving it. Let me see if I know where it came from. It came from Quiet Meadow. So let's go ahead and just add some dots right there. And look at that. Just a little bit of interest, little additional interest. Thank you, Judy. Oh, I love that. Okay. So now we are going to move on to our second card. Oh my goodness. And it is all about tulips. Let me show you. We are going to use flowering. It's kind of hard to say that, so I'm not going to say it again. Something tulips. So let's go ahead and bring in our cards. And look, this time we are actually going to bring in a different embossing folder. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to move all my stamps over here. Once again, the first thing you'll need to do is cut your base card 8.5 by 5.5 and score it at 4 1/4. And then we need to make our Dutch door, right? So go ahead, bring in your trimmer and turn it on the short side. Oh, but you know what? Before we do that, before we get into it, we are going to have a drawing. We are going to select someone for the first Surprise Patrol. So we are scrolling and looking. And let me see. Okay, we're going to hit the button and see what happens. And Judy! Yay, Judy! Thank you so much for your wonderful comment. We appreciate everyone that has given us a thumbs up. We hope that you're inspired by our cards. Congratulations, Judy. Just make sure that you go to our website, creativemomentsbyg.com. You can click on the contact form. You can go to Facebook and message me. Send me your address so we can get you that gratitude gift. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take our base card, and we are simply going to make that cut that we made before. And it's 2 3/4. And we're just going to cut to the score line, right? So we want to make sure and not cut it off. Now we're simply going to turn it, put our score line in the canal, whatever trimmer you have, and simply cut down. Now remember, on this one, this just needs to be cut to 2.5 by 4. And that will go right on the front of your card if that's what you choose to do. So let's go ahead and look at this. Now, this is our little panel for the front. And I'm looking to see what we have for the inside of the card. Now this one, we're going to give you an option to step it up just a little bit. So let's go ahead and lay this down. Remember, we want to see exactly what we're going to do right here, because we don't want to go over to where we're going to write. So we need to make just a little line. And this time, we're simply going to emboss this. And we're embossing it with that really fun, Maudie has the name of it, I believe. I don't have the name of it, but it's a fun embossing folder. We're going to put it just like this. And we are going to run it through our boss. So let's go ahead and do that. Get that done. And see how that's going to turn out. Now, something else you can do when you emboss something like this. Now, look at that. Look how pretty that is. Oh, we love that. Love it. You can use a brush and you can simply go over this embossed area just to create, it'll only hit the raised area, so it really paints it nicely. Instead of doing that, we're going to go ahead and put those dots on it again because we really like those dots. So let's go ahead and make sure that you lay down the right side. So we're going to go ahead and put our little dots. But this time we're going to use Calypso Coral. So let me clean this off just a little bit. I don't want to mix our colors. You never want to mix your colors, right? Okay, stamp it off just to dry it up a little bit. And now we're just simply going to stamp on it just a little bit. Look how pretty that looks. Ugh. We love these little dots. So pretty. Look at them. Okay. And we love this Poppy Parade. So very pretty. So let's go ahead and just lay this down. See, we have plenty of room to write, and it's all because we drew that line. So let's go ahead, get that laid down. And there we go. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So there we have it. And now we're going to work on the front. This time, we're going to go ahead and see what it looks like to go ahead and emboss this area as well. And so let's bring in that one again and get that embossed and see how that looks. These cards are so quick. You know, you could make 5 cards. You could cut them very easily and just make that front panel. And you could have you some thank you cards that someone would just absolutely love. So once again, we have that. Now we're going to go ahead and use a little bit of that Calypso Coral to just add some interest to this, right? So let's just do that. A little bit of interest. Okay, a little bit right there and there. And you know what that looks like? That looks like when you use your acrylic block and you get some of this on it and then you put some water and you flick it with the paintbrush, right? So this is kind of the cheater's way to do the same thing. So now we're going to go ahead and lay this down just right there on the front. And remember, I told you I was going to show you how to step up that front panel just a little bit, just in case you want to. Now, let's see. Let's lay that down. Now we're going to bring in our front panel. Wait till you see this gorgeous stamp. We're going to go ahead and stamp this in Poppy Parade. And this thank you stamp is just so beautiful. Wait till you see it. Okay, here we go. You're going to love this. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. Now we're going to keep that out because we're going to stamp using Calypso Coral and Poppy Parade our tulips. So we have, it's a 2-step process, and actually these stamps have a hole in them. So they actually show you exactly where to stamp it, which is so nice, right? We love that. So I'm just going to make sure that we stamp in the dark first. And I'm just going to stamp right here. Let's see. I'm going to make sure that I have it up right there. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. And then we're going to bring in our Calypso coral. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but it has a hole right there. You simply line that up right there so that you stamp it in the right place. Look at that. So pretty. Oh my goodness. Love it. And now we're going to bring in our stem, which is right here. And I need to get that on this one over here. So let me take off that stamp. Add the stem. And we are simply going to put the stem right here. Let's get our garden green. We definitely need some more color in there, right? So this garden green is going to help us out. Get that stamped. Get this one. And now we're going to bring in our leaves. Now we selected a beautiful leaf. Oh, this one's so pretty and it comes with the kit. Let's see. It's going to be like that. Let's just get that. And then we will, let's get it like that. And try to get just a little bit of it right there. Okay, and now we need to do the middle part, and we are going to use Mango Melody for that. So let's go ahead. You want to remember, don't forget that. You want to remember to do the inside of your flower. It really makes a big difference. Okay. So there we have it. Now, remember I said we're going to step it up. You can absolutely just add this on dimensionals and put it on. Looks very pretty. But wait, there's more. What if we put some gingham ribbon right there? Oh, I think that would be so pretty. So let's go ahead and use our tape runner. And I want to go ahead and just put it right here. And I'm going to put that right there. And now I'm simply going to cut it off just a little bit because that's way too long, right? So let's just cut that off. Cut that off. And now let's simply add tape runner there, and we can just fold it over. Now, once you have this, you can either put a ribbon on there. Look how pretty that is. Oh, I love it. Now let's go ahead and put it up on dimensionals, and then I'm going to show you what you can do. You can either add a bow, or if you're not very comfortable doing bows, you can do a knot, a real quick knot. I think knots are equally as beautiful. Oh, now remember, this only goes a little ways up, right? So you need to make sure that you keep it down here. Oh, no, not on this one. Got confused a little bit. Okay, this one's going to go on our backing. So we're going to go ahead and, I thought, okay, let's take out our dimensional backings. Put this right here. Look at that. And really, dimensionals are just so beautiful, right? They just raise it up and just really add interest. So now we're going to add that, but remember we only put our dimensionals halfway up or basically 3/4 way up. But now look what I've done. I've made a little bow, and you can add a bow right here. Or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can always just tie a square knot. So that might be easier for you. Just kind of tie that like that. And then you can clip off the edges. And that way you don't have to worry about tying a bow. And it looks the same. Look at that. And we could add it with simply a glue dot. Or you can add the bow. So let's look at the bow. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the bow. So I'm going to bring in our glue dots, and I'm simply going to add it right to the back. Where are our glue dots? There they are. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add one more. And just add it right here. And now we're simply going to put our dimensionals on the lower part of this and put it on the top of our Dutch door, right? I love this card because it is easy to make, but yet it really makes a statement. People are impressed with something like this. They don't know that it was easy to make. They think it was hard to make. So let's go ahead and get this right where we need it and lay that down. Look at that. Okay, let's clean this off just a little bit. I have made a mess. Let's see. Okay, now let's look at our cards. Remember, I told you that I was going to show you some other cards. So let's look at this. Let me see if I can't get in a little closer. There we go. Oh, that's a little too close. Little too close. There we go. Okay, so we have those. I showed you this one. Now look at this. Look at these colors. Isn't that pretty? We love those colors. Thinking of you. Once again, you want to stamp just halfway up so that you have plenty of rooms for your sentiment. Now, here is another one that we use that beautiful stamp. You have to admit, that stamp is beautiful. Carol, thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate that. You are helping us grow our channel. And anyone else that shares, thank you, thank you. Look at this. Oh, I love this color paper. This is Starry Sky, and isn't it vibrant? I really love the colors. I just think it's so pretty. Now remember, I told you that you could get out your little dauber and you could go over this, and that's what we did on this one, just to bring out that area that we embossed a little bit. So we have those cards, and what do you think? Oh, hey, Patricia, didn't see you. Thank you so much for coming. Now, let us know below which is your favorite. We just appreciate everyone that has come over and watched the rebroadcast. We certainly appreciate that. We also have people over on Facebook that are watching. Dawn's here. Thank you so much. And so we appreciate that. And I'm just trying to see. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and put it in. Glow is here also. Thank you, Glow, for coming tonight. So let's go ahead and put it in the hopper and let's do our selection. Okay, round and round we go. Okay, and here we go. Who is it? It is Carol Lindley. She is over on Facebook, I see. Congratulations, Carol. We're so happy. Thank you so much. Okay, now you know something else that we want to, let's all congratulate Carol. Carol, make sure that you go online and you let us know where to mail these gratitude gifts. We just appreciate you so much. You know, we also received 2 cards and we just want to show those cards. We're going to start showing the cards that we receive, and we just appreciate everyone that has sent us cards, but we received these today. And this one's from Melissa. She got one of the gratitude gifts, and look how pretty that is. She used a little bit of embossing, dry embossing. Oh my goodness, so very pretty. Used her bow. And then we also got one from Pat. Now this is like a birdhouse. See, it's a tent card. Stands up. And it's 3D, and we just thank you so much, Pat and Melissa, for sending us those cards. We want to invite everyone to subscribe and like and share our channel, help us grow. We just appreciate all the love that you show us, and we hope to see you next Tuesday. We hope that you subscribe to our newsletter. If you haven't done that, you need to do that, because we made that cake that we had for July 4th, and it was yummy. So we want you to go out and have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Bye-bye.